Hey Clashers, getting a rank 5 global season finish with Super Dragons sounds impressive, and that's what iTzu did a couple of seasons ago. But he is pushing again because based on the current season, everyone is going to get ranked in the new league system. So he's pushing again with his Super Dragon army, which is exactly this right here. No Roy Champion charge, no fancy things, just the raw power of Super Dragons. And he is sharing a couple of attacks so we can learn from one of the best Super Dragon attackers out there. So let's dive in. iTzu was nice enough to share a couple of different base layouts with us with different base styles like Rage Tower, Poison Tower, and so on. So we can learn how this strategy is really utilized. And the key thing here really is this siege right here. And this is as well why he's bringing the Rocket Loons to snipe things like the Mortar, for example. You can still snipe other defenses like air defenses, for example, but the Mortar is one of the main targets, so the Flamefinger gets the value. Because this siege has two different use cases. The first one, going for pathing. So for us, for example, in this attack, you can take down this bottom side and even reach into the first layer of those defenses, while then the Archer Queen could, for example, go for this far right side and then have the Super Dragons in between. And this is as well where this strategy might be a little bit different to many other strategies because we do not have a Roy Champion in this one. Instead, he's really trying to protect the Archer Queen with Rages, with Freezes, and as well with the Barbarian King, who is using the Yak on top of that to make sure that he can open up compartments, which is really clutch later on. On this specific attack, he's using the Archer Queen to just snipe through, as well get both of those sweepers, and this means he can push now in because this bottom side is funneled from the Flameflinger, and this right side is funneled now from the Archer Queen. Perfect pathing, straightforward going into the Poison Rage Tower section, which right now is super popular with like different setups overall, but the Rage Poison Tower setup with having one big heavy hitting defense compartment is really popular. Now, the minion principality as the king and queen going around the top side. Another important thing here is that you are not trying to use the king too early. Use and place the king when he is about to protect the Archer Queen, and use the king ability as well to open up the compartments. Like over here, he's going to use even freezes and rages to protect that Archer Queen even further, and he's bringing two skeleton spells which are making this job to protect the Archer Queen even easier. Why is skeleton spell not another freeze or something? Well, because the skeleton spell is lasting longer, and if you deploy it in the right space, you can distract the monolith like up here for quite some time. This overall attack is a huge overkill. We have like 3, 4, 5 Super Dragons left alive from, I think, 7 total when you're adding the Siege Super Dragon. So overall, complete overkill. And you can already see on why he was able to reach rank 5 at the end of the season. And I think we should just keep watching and learning. The second base is this super classic double Rage base, where you have the two Rage Tower compartments right next to each other. This base there right now is one of the most popular ones, especially in high legends, because in the beginning it was really solid to defend Root Rider attacks. By now I feel like people have figured it out already quite good, unfortunately, but it was really rough for the Root Rider attackers, for some of them, to really get the hang out of this base. But for the Super Dragon, which a lot of times, like, no one really is defending Masked Dragons, you have sometimes even an easier job because people at this point are even putting sweepers on the outside of the base where they're trying to hide them behind the workshop, for example. So you don't even have to snipe that. You can instead then snipe 2 air defenses, for example. Again, he's relying on the Flamefinger, really making sure that he's setting up the pathing. Do not make the mistake that you're getting the hang of, oh, I have to take down half the base with a Flamefinger. That is not the same as you would do like a Warden Charge Rocket Loon attack with the Flamefinger, where you're really trying to maximize the value out of this siege. This siege is with two main use cases. The first one, obvious, the value within the defenses, but the most important thing is the pathing. Because now that he has used the Archer Queen and again Giant Arrow across, taking down 2 of the air defenses as I said, he's now sending the Super Dragons in between, and you can take a look at that. With having those defenses now out, all of those Super Dragons are going to go in between. The next thing again, use the King when the Archer Queen is about to get in danger, which is this far right side with the Ground Expo. So that's why he deployed the King. And the Super Dragons are just doing the job for the core, and the Queen is pretty much cycling the entire base around the outside. And the Siege is just doing the job on the other side. And it's just supporting it. As well with this army, a lot of times the Super Dragons are staying alive for quite some time. Because you're running the Healing Tome and the Eternal Tome, and they have a ton of hit points. Which means Using the Dark Crown on this one might be not the most efficient way because you don't have a Royal Champion charge to open things up or a blimp or something where you could rely on those, well, housing space going down early, which means on this one you can use the Dark Crown, but typically I would recommend the Henchman Puppet more. I mean, it's cheaper as well, right? So it's like a win-win situation. But both would work if you have, for example, only the Dark Crown upgrade for whatever reason. But otherwise, he is really going with quite chill equipment. Like, we have on the King, we have the Spiky Ball, then we have double common, and over here double common as well. So, like, really cheap when it comes down to the ore investment to play this strategy overall. But let's just take a look at a couple of more attacks to really figure out how he's utilizing all of those different pieces always in those attacks. And this time again, we have a hook tower, but in combination with 2 poison towers. And something which you have to learn as well is that there is on every single base, there's always some type of flame flinger value. And as I said earlier, you don't have to take down half the base with that. So for this one, he's just going for this bottom value, which is overall a total of 5 buildings. 2 more charge towers, which is not bad. It's not the craziest value, but getting that out of the way for pretty much not doing anything is really nice. So this is what the flame flinger is all about. But if you would now use this for this bottom entry, you can see already 2 of those sweepers are pointing in that direction. So what he's doing instead this time around, he's using a baby dragon at the top side to funnel there, to then have the heroes do the left side work. Which means then he can use the heroes, the super dragons just in between. Yes, he's going the fire spitters, but as I said earlier, super dragons are so tanky right now, so that the sweepers are maybe even more important. As well, if you do not go for the sweepers, you can take down 2 air defenses with the giant arrow, which is typically just way nicer. So that's what he's trying to set up, as the flame flinger is doing his work on the bottom side. Baby dragon did his work at the top side, there goes the giant arrow, and this is one of the most crucial parts as well. You have to hit those giant arrows, you have to get good with that. Now the super dragon's in from the top side, king at the bottom side in there to support the archer queen. Again, we have both of those skeleton spells to really distract the defenses and make sure the damage is not too heavy. The yak nicely going through the wall, and we have the super dragons now pushing in. Hook tower. I feel like hook towers are only really having a big impact on bases or on strategies, which are really trying to have like a really strategic approach. If you're more like the power, the raw power of the strategy guy, like, I don't know, Royal Champion charged with dragons or root riders or something like that, that hook tower is not going to do much in most cases. Which means, on this one, you just overpower the hook tower. That's pretty much it. I mean, no way around it. The hook tower is not doing much. And on this one, you see as well, this base is getting completely overpowered. We have the super dragons at the top side, the queen on the bottom side with even another super dragon, nice freeze, and you see that has another rage and freeze left to swag. So it is ridiculous on how strong the super dragons are, and I feel like they're working better without the Royal Champion charge. You can still use the Royal Champion charge if you want to, but I would just recommend regular dragons then. But super dragons, I mean, it is the raw power. You can see it right here, and I feel like the more I watch those attacks, the more I understand why he finished so high on Legends with this crazy strategy. And I first thought about it if I would add like another Rage Invis core base, for example, into the replays. But to be honest, Invis core, like Invis bases in general with this attack where you have the giant arrow anyways in your army, it's like you don't even have to attack and the base is just already surrendering and saying, yep, take the 3-star, I give up, like, it's fine, you got this. So there's no point in me sharing that. Just trigger the Invis tower. You literally lose an entire entire spell tower as a defender. It is super easy and super stupid, so we don't even have to look at that. As well, the Rage Tower are just the complete meta right now, so let's learn more about that. As well, you don't always have to use your Rocket Loons. Instead, what he's doing here, for example, is he's utilizing those archers. The archers can be used in multiple different ways. The first one, the obvious one, is cleanup. That's, I mean, archers take quite some time. But they're as well here for distracting, which means the Flame Flinger was able to take down the mortar while it was distracted with the archers and did not take a single shot. So you could save the Rocket Loons maybe for later stages where you could snipe, I don't know, a multi-arch tower, maybe an air defense somehow and such things, or even just sprinkle them in somewhere on the backhand where you could tank possible black mines. So do not always right away go for the Rocket Loons. It's not bad, but you can still optimize things. Now with the giant arrow through, one air defense in the back end sweeper, as I said, you really have to hit those shots. And then Super Dragons right in between. 30 to 60 seconds, that is roughly the timer where you want to have the Flame Flinger working. And that's pretty much it. Then you want to get started with your Super Dragons, otherwise you're going to run into time issues. General Tome, Warden ability in here. We have, again, the Skeleton spell, which is such a good... I think the Skeleton spell is one of the best spells currently in the game. It is so underrated. It is really crazy strong if used correctly. One of the strongest. Just thinking about it. Maybe not top 3, but for sure top 5 spell in the game. So really, really strong right now. And, well, that's it. The base is already gone. The Super Dragons are as well super quick. This is why you can take this time at the beginning. The King and Queen took completely down this compartment. You still have the option of being so flexible with using spells for this Queen support, for example. We have now on the back end the Minion Prince with the Phoenix. We have the Rocket Dunes, which he added on the back end. We have, what is it, one? I think there's 2 back to, so we have 4 Super Dragons again live, 4 out of 7. It's insane. It is really, really crazy. Give it a try if you want to, which is like a little bit of an off-meta strategy, but it's really strong either way. And as well, it's not going to get affected by the Springtrap rework whatsoever. And as well, if you have any like off-meta or not Fireball, Warden Charge, or Root Rider attack strategies, which you're currently using in high legends. You need to be high legends though. Make sure that you put a comment or DM me on Discord, for example, if I should highlight this strategy, because I really want to concentrate on this strategy on my on the Warden Charge Rocket Loons on my accounts in Legends. So if I can share any of your strategies, I would love to do so during this season. So we can learn, everyone can learn something new, right? So even, I did not expect this strategy to be that crazy good. I mean, it looks ridiculous, to be honest. But that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. Again, a huge shout out goes to iTzu for sharing all of those attacks and replays with me and with all of you guys. And, well, I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.